Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets race of the day for Saturday, March the 3rd, an important Kentucky Derby prep race. It's one of 8 graded stakes races at Gulfstream on Saturday, and it's the Fountain of Youth. And if you sign up now for a new DRFBets account, you can bet this great card using your $200 free bet. No deposit required. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join and use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at this field of 3-year-olds getting set to travel a mile and a 16th at Gulfstream on Saturday, and you can access free Formulator Pass performances for the Fountain of Youth on the Race of the Day event page on drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take this field in post position order. It features the 3-year-old debut of 2-year-old champion Good Magic. He takes charge as the number 1. This is a big, good-looking colt, Matt, well-bred, well-connected with Mark Cassie as his trainer, gets a great post position in the Fountain of Youth. He's stepping up in class, but it looks like he's really going the right way.
I think there's talent here. It wouldn't surprise me if when it's all said and done, he's a nice 3-year-old. Maybe not right now. I guess that's my only concern. I picked him 4th. I think you want to use him underneath. He's very, very green. That most recent run, obviously against much weaker in that maiden race, he pulled himself up when he hit the front, got goofy with the lead changes. I think there's something here. I just don't know against Good Magic and against Free Drop Billy and these kind of horses. I don't know if now's the time, but down the road, I think he's going to be okay.
I agree 100%. I really think more distance even down the road is really going to work well for He Takes Charge. A mile and a 16th, though, no sweat last time out when handling maidens. The number 2 is Free Drop Billy, and this horse is already a Grade 1 stakes winner, having won the Breeders' Futurity 3 starts back. You could argue he was on a deep and tiring rail against Good Magic in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I thought he ran quite well first time back in the Holy Bull. And here's a Dale Romans formulator fact to consider. We talked about Free Drop Billy's negative formulator facts in the Holy Bull. Romans off a layoff. Second back off a layoff in graded stakes with 3-year-old Dirt Ratters. He's at 33%, 766 ROI, including Keen Ice in the Travers.
You know, I don't know if he's as talented as Good Magic, but I know he has the recency. There's no denying that. And he ran a winning race that day in the Holy Bull. He just got his doors blown up by a Pletcher horse called Audible. I don't know. I mean, I look at this horse and say, if the speeds go, he could sit a very similar trip to the one he worked out in the Holy Bull. If you think it's a matter of tightness and ultimately what the goal is, I'm going to give the edge to Free Drop Billy. Is it enough? We'll find out Saturday. I think that could end up playing a major key in this entire thing, though.
I think he was a little bit short in the Holy Bull. He made that move to Audible on the far turn, and Audible then just ran away from him the last quarter of a mile or so. But I think Free Drop Billy got a lot out of that race, and you're right. Good trip coming from the inside post. He's very dangerous at 9-2 on the morning line. Peppard's the number 3. I'm a big fan of Peppard. I liked him in the Grade 3 Gray Stakes. The world liked him in the Gray Stakes, except you, who actually cashed. He was 1-2 that day. I did not like the trip he got. He was ridiculously wide off of a slow pace, tried very hard in the stretch. It didn't work out. The Kentucky Jockey Club didn't work out from a trip standpoint as well, but he was a giant price. This is a tough spot to come back off of the layoff. I'm looking forward to seeing him on Synth down the road.
I agree with you. Getting back to Woodbine, the problem that you and I talked about before we came on, he's not an Ontario bred. He's not a Canadian bred, so he can't run in the Queen's Plate, so you're going to have to pick spots, but I think he's much better on synthetic.
The speed comes from the 4, Strike Power. Don't believe me? Check out the Timeform US Pace Projector. That red bar, though, might work against the 4, Strike Power, who is stretching out around 2 turns for the first time. This colt is fast, very fast, but he's also very green.
Very green. Never changed leads at any point in that most recent run, and I understand, you know, Mark Henning brought up the idea that sometimes when a horse doesn't need to change leads, they won't do it. Well, you're going to have to hope that that's the case here, because he's going to face far and away the best horses of his lifetime. The only thing I'll say, to me anyway, I think that Swale Buyer might be a little bit on the light side. Timeform has it a much faster race, kind of on par with that debut score at the 102. So I have a feeling he was probably somewhere in that more toward the mid-90 range. If you believe that, then he's certainly got a chance if he can successfully stretch out to 2.
Trainer Dale Romans has 3 horses entered in the Fountain of Youth, including the 5 Storm Runner. This is a very likable son of Get Stormy. He's won his last 2 starts on dirt, both of them at this mile and a 16th distance. I do like his tactical speed. His Buyer speed figures are a little bit light, but he is so lightly raced that I wouldn't be surprised at all if he takes a big step forward. This is a horse that can make some noise at a price.
Yeah, certainly. You know, I thought it was a good effort, all things considered. He never changed leads, which is a little bit of a concern, and then he got a little bit short at the end. I think that was a product of not changing leads. The problem now is he's nice. Boy, he's going to need to take his game to the next level if he's going to get close. I agree with you, though. If you're looking for a horse underneath, why not him?
Good Magic, the number 6, last year's 2-year-old champion. He won his maiden in the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It was a big performance. He got a really nice trip and ride under Jose Ortiz, but I don't think there was really any doubt he was the best horse in that race. When all was said and done, he is going to have to deal with a layoff, and this is only step A in Chad Brown's plan to get this horse to the Kentucky Derby. But if he runs the Breeders' Cup, he's probably going to win.
Yeah, simply put, with that 100 buyer, he's got a 120 time form US rating in there from that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. If he runs that race, more likely than not, he's going to win. It's just there's one of those things, man. You talk about a horse coming off of a 4-month layoff. He's going to probably be, I would guess, in the odds-on range, if not shorter than that. Everyone loves the champions. And if I were involved, look, you've got Chad Brown, you've got the best of the best, Jose Ortiz. You can't have any hiccups with this horse because you're talking about prep, Kentucky Derby. If you have any kind of a hiccup, man, he's behind the 8 ball.
The 7's Gotta Go, and I liked Gotta Go a little bit last time out in the Swale, and he got a really nice ride. He was just blitzed by Strike Power coming out of the gate. He saved ground. He finished second best. I wonder if the inside was slightly better than the outside on Swale Day on February the 3rd, and that maybe he might have benefited, and that maybe Strike Power's performance was slightly aided by the inside. I think Gotta Go's a nice horse going the right way for Ian Wilkes, but I'm not yet sure what kind of horse he is. Something tells me he might be sort of a late-running one-turn type.
Yeah, and you know what? That's going to be the problem with a race like this. This is going to be, I don't want to say just taking a chance here, but if he runs well enough, then I suppose you trudge on with him. If he doesn't run well, then you turn him back and you get him to a sprint.
Don't sleep on Marconi. This is a $2 million yearling. He's kin to Mucho Macho Man. He's a big, good-looking horse that's still trying to figure it out. He's trained by Todd Pletcher. I thought the Withers was a solid performance in his first start of the year. They asked him to go 9 furlongs against a top 3-year-old in Avery Island, and he was starting to roll late. But like the horse down on the rail, I wonder if he wants more distance.
You look at the way that he runs. I mean, to me, he just screams out Belmont Stakes. For a mile and a half, he's not going to blow you away with any brilliance, but he's just going to keep clicking off 12s or 13s for 1/8 of a mile. I think he's okay. That second start off the bench. Look, Pletcher didn't have to bring him down from New York. He could have kept him up there and could have kept him on that path. I wonder if part of that has to do with the idea now that Gotham is a 1-turn mile, maybe timing-wise. But this horse, I don't know if Saturday's the day, but he's okay.
Machismo, the number 9, blitzed a maiden field on Holy Bull and Swale Day, earned a career-best 84 buyer speed figure. Now he's got to stretch out for the first time. He's working a hole in the wind, 58 and change leading up to this race. I wonder if he's going to go out there and maybe deal with Strike Power early and at the very least soften that horse up. This horse has some ability, but it's a big ask 2 turns first time against the 2-year-old champion.
You know, the only thing I'll say about this horse, I don't think he can win the race, but I want him to be aggressively ridden. Don't sit back, don't take off and sit off of a horse like Strike Power and then possibly set up a little bit of a quirky result. Use this horse's best asset. He's got unbelievable speed. Just go.
Promises Fulfilled completes the field. He is also trained by Dale Romans, winner of his first 2 starts sprinting. Okay effort, first time 2 turns in the Kentucky Jockey Club, a race where he finished ahead of 3 next out winners. The runner-up, Tiz Mischief, came off of his layoff to run 3rd in the Holy Bull. Again, the angle for Romans is second back. This is the first back. I'll wait till next time. This horse has speed too.
Yeah, he's got some gas, and I wonder if this is a little bit of a race where send him from the outside if you're a Rad Ortiz. If he gets tired and flattens out, so be it. You're going to be ready to go second off, and maybe you find a better spot.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Saturday DRFBets race of the day. I think Good Magic gets through this. I think he has enough tactical speed to sit a good trip. I think the point you made that Chad can't waste a race. You can't have a bad race when you've only got 2 preps before the Kentucky Derby. I think he's going to have him tight for this spot. The problem is there is absolutely no value from a win end. He's a horse that I lean on in the multis, and as my backup, I'm using Free Drop Billy. I am a big fan of this horse. I think he's going to run a good race, and he's actually a playable price on the win end. I went 6, 2, 4, and 9.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Free Drop Billy in here. In order, I went 2, 6, 8, 1. I kind of look at Free Drop Billy and say maybe it's nothing more than, maybe now is the right time for this horse as opposed to Good Magic. I agree with you. I mean, you can't waste one with Good Magic, but if you're ever going to beat him, maybe it's off the 4-month layoff. I think the horse, though, long-term to keep an eye on, not saying Saturday, he takes charge. I think he's going to be okay when it's all said and done.
I think Marconi fits that bill as well. 2 maybe later season 3-year-olds, but they're going to be in the gate in a quality edition of the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. Again, if you're playing this Gulfstream Saturday Super Card, please consider DRFBets. New signups access a $200 free bet. No deposit required. All you have to do is go to drf.com/join and type in the promo code code FREEBET09. Approximate post time for Good Magic's 3-year-old debut in the Fountain of Youth, 6:09 Eastern on Saturday. Best of luck.